Many of you may be aware of the NRL's award-winning CareerWise program, which helps players plan for life after sport. And based on best practice and career development, the program is about supporting players through every age and stage. Today, we're here to discuss a similar approach in supporting firefighters. And I know that for many firefighters, what starts out as a desire to help people transforms into a challenging career that can provide immense personal fulfillment. And it's often a career that provides not just an income, but also a way of life, a self-image, a purpose, and long-lasting friendships. And it's completely understandable and logical, therefore, that the transition into a different role is a major step for most people. And it's also really important to acknowledge that the way people respond also varies greatly. For example, a person who has carefully planned the next step is far more likely to feel positive about it, while a person who leaves earlier than expected may find it harder to cope with that transition. Planning is the key, and today is about ensuring that we really are prepared for anything, not just within our jobs, but also for what comes next when we choose to leave, or for some are forced to leave for other reasons prematurely. Just last week here in Sydney, we hosted the Invictus Games, and I was drawn to an article of a young woman who was interacting with Prince Harry, and she was also a competitor in the Games. After suffering both physical and mental injuries, Amelia Maisco, who was a medic in the Navy, was medically discharged in 2015 and found the sudden transition into civilian life was an abrupt and brutal change. She said, and I quote, "I really struggled with getting back into civilian life, integrating back into the community, and I just lost my purpose. I didn't know what to do or what was next." So one of the less pleasant tasks, I guess, for me as Commissioner is making those final calls on medical and other releases from the service. I've had many of my own colleagues over many years leave under various circumstances, and I know how hard it has been for some of them, especially those who had not prepared or considered such an eventuality. And it always concerns me on a daily basis when I see those paperwork things coming through, that every single one of those represents a person that is going through a transition, whether they planned for it or not. While change and transition can be a difficult time, it can also be an opportunity to look back and recognise what you have achieved. In 2017, in our recruitment round, there were approximately 65 candidates for every successful applicant. In other words, 1.6% of applicants became firefighters. Becoming a firefighter is an enormous achievement in itself, and during your time as firefighters with Fire Rescue New South Wales, you've helped countless people on what is often the worst day of their lives. You also provide life-saving education and support to the communities every day when you interact with the public. I hope that no matter where your life or your career takes you, you'll always remember the positive impact that you've had on the community and the many lives that you have touched along the way. It's also important to recognise the skills and the professionalism that you've developed as a firefighter. These are extremely valuable and transferable skills that can lead to a huge variety of fulfilling roles in other areas, from councils, the education and health sectors to private risk management companies. The data shows us that firefighters, more than ever before, are finding work in other fields and are being successful in them. Always remember that you don't have to make this transition on your own. There are many forms of support available through Fire Rescue New South Wales for both you and for your families. The Career Transition Booklet, its final version, which I've just seen this morning, avoid page 3 really quickly. It's got a terrible picture of me and it'll frighten the bejesus out of you if you're not prepared for it. Was developed in consultation with current and former firefighters and is filled with useful information on all the support that is available to you. We know that different approaches work for different people in different ways, and I encourage you all to find the one that is going to work for you.